The convoy reached the vicinity of Gaskende. The attackers, claimed by Al-Qaeda, unleashed a well-planned assault. The first explosion rocked the convoy as a mine detonated, sending plumes of smoke and debris into the air. A faction within the military, led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, decided to take decisive action. In you lies the only hope of life, and the people have given you this hope, allowing you to live. We will make war, we will march on August 4th on this ground because it is ours. September 26, 2022, 4 days before Captain Ibrahim Traoré took over power in Burkina Faso. A convoy, consisting of 207 vehicles and trucks, began its journey from Ouagadougou, the Burkina Faso capital, to Djibo, a city in northern Burkina Faso, which had been suffering under an 18-month-long jihadist blockade. A massive supply convoy was organized to transport essential goods to Djibo, aiming to prevent a looming famine. As the convoy set off, a sense of determination was palpable among the drivers and the soldiers. The road ahead was fraught with danger, but the mission was too important to fail. The convoy moved steadily along National Road 22. Soldiers were on high alert, aware of the dangers that lay ahead. A first mine was discovered and avoided, heightening the tension. A few sporadic harassment shots were fired at the convoy, but these were quickly dealt with by the soldiers. The journey continued, but an uneasy calm prevailed. The convoy reached the vicinity of Gaskende. Suddenly, a coordinated ambush erupted. The attackers, claimed by Al-Qaeda, unleashed a well-planned assault. The first explosion rocked the convoy as a mine detonated, sending plumes of smoke and debris into the air. Gunfire erupted from both sides of the road. Heavy machine guns mounted on pickups and dozens of jihadists on motorcycles attacked with ferocious intensity. The convoy was in disarray. As darkness began to fall, the scale of the attack became evident. Videos taken by survivors showed a devastating scene, a long column of burning vehicles and scattered bodies. The morning after the attack, the full horror became apparent. Official reports indicated 37 dead, including 27 soldiers. 70 truck drivers were missing. The attack was a stark reminder of the state's inability to protect its citizens and control its territory. In Ouagadougou, the capital, anger and frustration boiled over. The press and public demanded answers. Why had the convoy been sent on such a dangerous route without adequate support? Questions were raised about decisions leading up to the attack. September 30th, 2022, early morning. While the nation mourned and grappled with the tragedy, a faction within the military, led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, decided to take decisive action. The attack on Gaskende was the final straw for them, highlighting the need for a change in leadership to effectively address the security crisis. Traoré and his loyalists launched a well-coordinated coup. Their first target was the state television station, a crucial asset for controlling the narrative. Elite soldiers stormed the television station, overpowering the guards and taking control. Traoré's media team prepared for an imminent broadcast. Other units moved to secure key military bases around the capital, disarming loyalists to Damiba and taking control of armories and communication centers. Strategic government buildings, including the Ministry of Defense and the Prime Minister's office, were taken over. The coup plotters faced minimal resistance due to their surprise and coordination. The final target was the presidential palace. Traoré's forces infiltrated the palace grounds with intelligence from sympathetic insiders. A brief but intense firefight ensued. The palace guards, realizing the gravity of the situation, mounted a last-ditch defense. Sporadic gunfire echoed through the corridors as Traoré's forces advanced, ensuring all access points were guarded to prevent any chance of a counter-coup. The actions of Lieutenant Colonel Damiba have gradually convinced us that his ambitions deviate widely from our common ideal. We have witnessed a restoration to the forces of another former step of acts of a nature to call into question the independence of justice and to create serious precedents. The hazardous choices of Lieutenant Colonel Damiba have progressively weakened our security system. The administrative burdens which characterize the fallen regime have worsened under the transition, thus compromising operations of a strategic nature. In view of all these abuses, we have decided today, September 30, 2022, to remove Lieutenant Colonel Damiba from state power in order to pursue our common ideal with all the people of Burkina Faso, namely the restoration of security and the integrity of our homeland. With the immediate threat of insurgency looming large, Traoré recognized the urgent need to rebuild and rearm the military. His administration wasted no time in addressing the critical shortages in weapons and equipment that had hampered previous efforts. Traoré initiated contact with international allies to procure arms and ammunition. China responded swiftly, agreeing to deliver several armory shipments on short notice. The rapid mobilization of resources underscored the dire need for reinforcement and the urgency with which Traoré approached the security crisis. The first shipments of Chinese armory arrived in Burkina Faso. These included modern rifles, machine guns, ammunition, and other essential military supplies. The swift delivery was a testament to the logistical coordination between Burkina Faso and its international allies. The new weapons were quickly distributed to the military units on the front lines, significantly bolstering their combat capabilities. As the military strength was being restored, Traoré directed efforts towards breaking the jihadist blockade that had crippled Djibo. In you lies the only hope of life, and the people have given you this hope, allowing you to live. You are made for this. Fatigue and sleep do not know us. Give it your all. When you walk, look at the goods and the hope they have when they see you. That's it. So make them feel that even more. Give them hope. Their opinion. Being here among them, they feel alive. If you leave, it's death. So get to work even harder. All these populations in these gangs in the bars here, we must do everything possible to secure them. You are the ones who have the flag here. There is no reason for these flags to come down again. We will make war, we will march on August 4th on this ground because it is ours. So arm yourself with courage and never give up. There will be difficulties, that's for sure. Already the climate is your big difficulty. It's cold, the Harmattan is here. Everything has been accomplished and made possible. The situation in Djibo remained critical, with 300,000 people facing severe food shortages. To address this, Traoré ordered a large-scale operation to deliver essential supplies to the besieged city. October 21, 2022, another convoy departed in the early hours, moving cautiously along the route that had previously seen such devastation. The soldiers maintained a high level of vigilance, ready to respond to any threat. For 18 months, Djibo had been under siege by jihadist groups, cutting off the town from essential supplies and services. The blockade has exacerbated the already fragile humanitarian situation, pushing the residents to the brink of starvation. Access to food, clean water, and medical supplies has been severely restricted. As the convoy approached, thousands of residents lined the streets, their faces etched with a mix of relief and anxiety. For many, this was a matter of life and death, creating a dire scenario where survival hangs by a thread. Residents, many of whom are women and children, have been forced to ration their dwindling food supplies, relying on wild plants and makeshift meals to sustain themselves. The lack of proper nutrition has led to an increase in malnutrition cases, particularly among children, with local health facilities overwhelmed and unable to cope with the influx of patients. The arrival of the food convoy was a beacon of hope for the people of Djibo. The convoy, escorted by military troops, carried essential food items including grains, pulses, cooking oil, and nutritional supplements for children. The supplies were distributed through local organizations and community leaders, ensuring that they reached the most vulnerable populations first. The success of the food convoy was not merely a logistical achievement, but also a significant military victory. Several military troops followed the convoy, taking up defensive positions across the region to ensure the safety and security of the operation. This strategic deployment aimed to deter any potential attacks by jihadist groups and safeguard the delivery process. The news of the successful delivery of the food convoy reverberated across the capital city, Ouagadougou. Citizens and government officials alike hailed the operation as a significant milestone in the fight against jihadist insurgency. The successful convoy not only brought much-needed relief to Djibo, but also boosted national morale and confidence in the military's capabilities,